now tuned into the greatest.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Normal Disease Podcast.
Let's go, my man. I'm telling you today.
We're going to understand why this normal is a disease. Man, why is normal a disease? Unajua mbona normal ni disease?
Why is normal a disease? Miss Joy, do you know what normal is a disease?
When tunajua, tell me why normal is a disease.
I don't know how normal a disease, how normal is a disease, but we are definitely going to find out. Oh yes.
So I'll be your host today, Sage be me,
and I'll be your co-host, Rizine. And then today we have a very interesting topic to discuss today. Like that first question that we've just asked, normal, a disease, it's a very, very interesting statement to say that, and, through our journey of discovery, we found out that a normal can actually be a disease. It's very interesting. And so today we're actually going to basically just introduce that whole topic through our own experiences, and what better way to get started than kuanza from vile tulikuwa watoto. I think that's the best place to start.
How we can see like the disease took place, the disease didn't happen. Like we're just going to start with our childhood. As for me, like my childhood, there's one thing that I'll major on. Yeah? I can say that I wasn't raised. It's like I was left to grow. Yeah? Because most of the time you'll find that my parents weren't at home. So, like in our family we were like 7 guys.
Yeah.
So like you'll find that I was either with my sisters. Once I chilled with my brothers because walikuwa high school, sometimes walikuwa university, and haupatangi like they have that time for you.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
The only time that I actually spent with my bro was when he had finished Form 4. That's when he was taking me and my sister to school when we were kids. Yeah? So that's the most time, like one of the fun times that I had while spending with my big brother. The other big brother that I have, I never really got to spend like that bonding time with him. So right now I'm actually contemplating on how I can spend time with him. Because like you can find that there are times you go over there, you're just chilling, nobody's talking to anyone. You're just chilling to like ukwaje kupoa nukupoa
I get what you mean.
So for me, I'll say like as a child I wasn't raised. I was left to grow with close to minimal supervision. So we can say that I was a cheeky young kid. Like hey man, I was cheeky. There's this one time, yeah. I went to Ian's place. Yeah? Then there was this guy. We were in the same school with him. He was called Jefferson. I thought Jefferson was this cool young kid back in the day. Right now, I don't know how he is because I haven't spoken with him. But then I used to, because like all of us were in the swimming club, and Ian and Jeff, hey, these guys were like really good in swimming. Man. So you're like, I want to be close to the cool kid, the swimmers, man. Yeah, so like, see, Jeff has come for a sleepover to Ian's place. Tumefika huko. Hey, we've started watching wrestling. Hey, we've started playing. We're up and over the house. But the small house. It's a big house. It's like a. It doesn't have a. I'm trying to describe it for the guys who are listening to be able to picture it. It doesn't have a first floor. It's just a whole house on the ground. Yeah.
A bungalow.
A bungalow with 7 rooms. It's 8. I can't remember the number. It's just huge, and the sitting room was like massive. Like you used to sit on the seat and you can see everything and everything. It was just so spacious. Yeah. So you'll find us like we are hiding in the bedrooms, hiding under the beds. running up and down the house, and we are unsupervised. Actually, I think we were unsupervised. Either that or the grown-ups were asleep. Because really, you can't explain.
Yeah, you can't explain.
You can't explain. Like, we're up all night. Kojili, I used to like Disney because it had all these cartoons that Cartoon Network didn't have, like American Dragon, Siju Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, yeah.
At that time, like, you're like, hey, I'm used to Cartoon Network because even in TV,
Yeah, always showed Cartoon Network.
so you get to understand, like, there's this Disney, and I'm like, man, we should be having this. so like, we were chilling with the boys. I have no idea if we had eaten at that time, but we were just so excited and doing all these things, and I was like, you're just immersed in that moment, yeah? So we had decided to, like, play a game. Then, out of the blue, my sister comes to pick me up. I'm like, what? They're calling me to go home.
Allah. Why would they do that right now?
Exactly, yeah. Like we're having fun. Now you're going to take me to stay by myself. I don't want to be alone,
Dude.
I don't want to be. I honestly didn't.
No, I agree with you. You know, when we were young, like the thought of not being with your friends when they're doing like something
exciting,
fun.
yeah.
Oh my God, that was a disaster.
Yeah. So like they took me. They came to take me. The time we actually the SmackDown had just started. So they take me, and I'm like, okay. Let me see how I'll handle this situation. So like they take me. So you remember we used to stay at Primary Corner.
Yeah.
It wasn't far from here.
Yeah, very close.
So like we go back home. I think either I ate or I didn't eat. Then I don't know how this happened, yeah? I devised a plan to sneak out of the house at night and go back to chill with the cool kids.
Totally.
I went to chill with the cool kids, man.
So what did you do?
So what I can remember at the moment, yeah? Like, I chucked out of the house using the kitchen side, yeah?
Oh, the back.
Yeah. So I chucked. The dog hadn't actually been released, so it wasn't that late. So I checked the house, then sneaked out of the gate. Luckily, it wasn't closed because, like, once the gate was closed, I didn't have the key, so I couldn't jump the gate.
Yeah, you can't jump the gate that time.
So, like, I sneaked out and went to Ian's place. So we start playing again, man. We were playing, man. We were having fun, like mad fun. Oh, guess what happened? These people, they realize I am not around. They realize I'm not around, and they are worried sick about this.
Yeah.
Like, huyu mtoto
Ameenda wapi tena?
You even wonder.
Hey, those times, my friend, that reminds me of the time when your parents, they love you, and the way you know it is because when you disappear when you're a kid, they will look for you, like
they will overturn mountains.
Yeah, they will literally like climb a whole mountain trying to look for you. But once they find you, my friends, now the love turns to anger. Ooh, you get it, my friend. Oh my God.
So I was like pinched all the way back to the house. Fine, yuko wenyewe usiku. Why are you doing at other people's places at night, man? Man, that was a traumatizing moment, man. All this fun that I was joining, it plummeted. I went, showered, slept. Actually, I after showering, because I was told go and shower. Yeah? That's the time I decided to sneak out because these people aren't paying attention.
This time shower. Okay, I see you, man. Let me shower. Oh, this is the perfect opportunity.
Let me go shower. I'll take 3 hours to shower. 3 hours is enough.
Yeah, it's just enough, Yeah, that time, my friend.
I can only imagine what happened in that house before they got to understand that.
That you are not even.
I was showering.
You are showering in quotes.
So there's that one time, like I couldn't get. For me, I wasn't like down with the boredom. I wasn't at all. And funny thing, I never sought like approval of the let's say family members. Most of the time, it was like, am I having fun? What am I really enjoying this situation? That's how I got into most of the situations that I found myself in.
And let me just add to your story, because of you've just reminded me. Over time, I had the exact same experience. Literally the exact same experience. So, we were sent to the shop with my auntie, the person who helps at home. So, and then apparently on that specific day, my mom was supposed to travel abroad. My mom was supposed to travel abroad. And there had been all these stories about kids just disappearing. Randomly. So we had gone to the shop with my auntie, because I was still a young boy. My mom would not let me out of the gate alone. So now on the way back, I remember there's a friend of mine called Bobby. I don't know if you remember Bobby, but there's a friend of mine called Bobby, and they had this Xbox 360. Oh, I even forgot. I forgot even which game we were playing, but then I remember this very well. So I decided, you know what? Until you just go home, Mimi, I'm coming. That's what I told her. And then, you know what? She just said, okay, let me. She went home. Now, Mimi, I walked all the way to Bobby's place. Although it's not super far from where we live. Yeah. So now, I've gone to Bobby's place. At that time, like we are a lot of people in there. We are like so many people. You're just switching the pads and playing. And that time, you're not even thinking about I didn't think
anything
about
else.
anything.
You're not even hungry.
I'm not hungry, man. You're like so deep into the game. You're enjoying yourself, having fun, just the way you're saying. Now, suddenly, I'm called. I just hear my name out of nowhere, And apparently one of my friends from our estate knew where people were playing so they had gone mad at home first, trying to figure out, so where is the kid? Why did you leave him? Yeah. And that time I'm trying to go and have fun. I don't understand
all these people are talking about. You actually said that you actually got me thinking, yeah? At this point in time, people have phones. You can't find someone and they have a phone.
Oh my God!
But back in the day, man, I could track you where you are. And they get you.
And they know.
They get you.
Thing was just funny.
Because I remember, I came to the estate that same day.
Yeah.
I came to the estate looking for you. I think it was Mose. If it
was
wasn't
Mose, it was Mose.
Yeah, he actually told me, you just go, you go to Viraj, then you go uko chini kabisa. Yeah. So I come there and find you guys. You guys are playing. I'm playing. Even I forgot that we were looking for you.
Yeah,
so it must be there. Everyone is playing wow.
Oh my God, that experience was crazy. So now you guys have come to look for me, and then there's my auntie who was at home now. My actual auntie. So they had worked with Mose. Mose now was coming with you guys. You came
actually,
and then yeah.
Actually, what happened is
Actually,
we had 2 rounds. We had 2 rounds. There's me that I went and met up with. I came to a place. Then I was told you're not around. So I was like, let me go to Moses, because most of the time we used to go to
Moses' place. For PS.
Yeah. So when I get to Moses is telling me let's go to Viraj. I show you. So we get to Viraj because I actually told your aunties how they don't know where you are. So I was like, I want to know the other. I don't know how I'll find him, but I'll find him. Yeah. So I was supposed to tell, because I was told, ukimpata mwambie akuje nyumbani. We come with Mose, we got down there and I'm like, tunacheza hata mimi najua kucheza. So I was supposed to tell you you're being called. I forgot.
I remember now.
So I'm we are playing. So we kept on doing the round robin thing. Then back to you now.
Yeah. So now Finally, I don't know if Mose went and came back with the auntie or something. Because I was called.
Kulikonga na that moment, like you felt like kuna tension everywhere.
Yeah, there was just silence, and then nikaitwa ho. And then I look downstairs, I see many adults and Mose. Oh, I knew I'm in deep, I'm in deep trouble, man. Wow, so sasa. Wamekuja sasa wakaniita, si ndio? Sasa mimi nimeshuka huko chini, I'm like, me, I'm just being called to go home. Remember, my mom was supposed to travel abroad. Yeah, so apparently this whole time, she's worried about me, so she actually hasn't gone. She's waiting to see me physically before she decides, am I going now or am I moving the flight? Because so that time mimi nimepatia watu, I've given people, what is it called, this, like they're the jitters, like they are like freaking out. So I reached uko chini. I remember I told you the first nini is love of looking for you. But once they see you, my friend, the first thing, when I went and did I even greeted my aunt. Hey, the first thing that happened, I received a proper hot slap, my friend. That thing reset me, factory reset. I was like, what the hell am I doing here? That even made it worse.
It was like, I'm coming. Oh, I'm supposed to come.
I received that slap, my friend. Ooh, nikasema, why, my friend? It seems like I'm in trouble. Me, I thought I was being called home, but then it seems like I'm in deep trouble.
It seems that I did something wrong and I don't understand what.
I don't get it. I was just trying to have fun.
We're just deep diving into the fun.
Yeah. So okay. So now we walk from just close to the house. And you get into the house, then I'm told to sit down and wait for my mom. Oh. And then that time, like, she's prepared, the bags are packed, everything is done. But then now Rizine, where is Rizine? Oh my God, yeah. So like, I've never seen my mom get that angry, but that day,
boiling lava.
Oh my God, like, from all these stories, and she's traveling, like, so she was like really mad. Hey, akaenda kanishika hivi, akinishika hivi, and I just started being shaken and being told, I was supposed to travel. Like,
yeah, like she's explaining to you the situation.
Explaining to you the situation, and also that time now alikuwa na unleash me and
left, right.
I received those things.
You're like, I was just having fun.
I was trying to have fun, and then that time nilikuwa mgumu. Like, if people from primary can remember,
you're just like,
I can cry later, I can cry way later when people come here and sing.
But other time,
your time mazee hauwezi niambia. Your time na receive niko like, yeah. So nika receive. Hey, so basically, wow. Like that experience was just nuts. So you see now, you're trying to have fun on one end, and on the other end, my friend, there's chaos. And then the thing that I've learned is that, you remember we were talking last week about decisions and consequences. You're always faced with a couple of choices to make, and every single one of them has a consequence. Well, if you decide to go and play and your parent is traveling, and they've all been all the stories of children disappearing, just know you'll be in deep shit. You will simply be in it, my friend.
You'll be trying to flush that shit down the toilet,
but
it's not flushing. It's just being found by the water, then coming back to look at you like,
I'm still here, my friend. Oh my God, that's scary. I remember that time. In fact, the funny thing is that that's the last time my mom has ever like given me any like ambaye like that was the last time, because your time nilipigwa, my friend.
It was beast mode mbaya sana.
Like Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, what have I done?
Riding on a motorbike.
Like your time unapigwa slap. Unarudi factory settings zile ukweli. Sio jokes. Uko like guy nilikuwa nafanya nini? I'm trying to have fun, but I should think first
before this fun kwanza.
Yeah, so I head back to you, man. Back to you.
Before this compulsive behavior kicks in. So it got to a point like at that time, like I think my sisters kind of understood and my brother. I think it was my sister and my brother. I think they understood, but they told me, when you get to the house, you're going to sleep. Hey, I was like, aye. So I can't run away again. I'm trying to think if I did go again, but I think like the threats hit home.
Yeah.
Like, I think the threats hit home that it got to a point that
you know what?
It's not a must.
No, it's not a must.
I might get killed. I might get killed out there. So and there's this other time, I think it was my birthday. Most of the time you'll find that right now I don't keep track. It's like I've forgotten that I have a birthday. But prior to like 3 years ago, I used to follow up on my birthday. I found that my birthday was either during the week, rarely on Saturdays, but this time we had closed school early. Then my birthday came, and I've not been performing good in school. So I was like, I was actually in the house with my big brother, Ben, the firstborn.
Yeah.
He told me, and also me. So see, I'm in my sister's bedroom and trying to get these things called masomo. I'm doing air quotes
trying to get the thing called masomo down.
Because like I resented school. Like I am the type of person, For me, like since I was like very small, I used to like fight with the nanny. When she was taking me to school, I was like, I don't want to go. Then I'm throwing punches and kicks. So up till date, she looks at me, points me. Wewe, unakumbuka ulikuwa unakataa kwenda kusoma?
Oh my God.
Like
that is a classic.
Like you can imagine, like when she sees me, she's like,
she just remembers
Masomo. Like Masomo is the first thing.
I know, she remembers you from the time you are kicking her and punching her.
Because I didn't want this thing you're calling school. But I wonder up till now, like I still have this strong resentment inside me, but I got to understand like the purpose of like going to school. This came much later, but before that I was like, this thing called masomo, why are you putting it on me? You guys go read me, let me be me.
Let me be me and do my stuff.
You guys just go you go study, you guys.
I see what you mean, man. I see what you mean.
So I'm being told to read. It's my birthday, and you're like, it's my birthday. Things should be magical. You get?
Yeah, I know. Because of that time when we were kids, bro, we had high standards. Oh my God!
What?
Your birthday. Ilikuwa a very high standard.
It was like, just something on its own.
Like it's like a what? Once in a
lifetime opportunity.
Somebody could say like it's an event of the century.
That's
what it was like every year.
Like for us, like
that's what we expected most of the time. Like you don't want anything less than that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, today I shouldn't be reading. I shouldn't at all. So I'm in the bedroom studying. I'm doing
in quotes basically.
Yeah. Go to a point I was like, meh. Let me just get out of the house. I tiptoe. I open, like you can open the door and then it makes sound. So I was like, like sneaky. Then I get out. Then I close it slowly. Then I tiptoe up until I check the sitting room. The sitting door was kind of open, but not so open. So nearly like I put my head in and see, he's watching National Geography. I put my head out, then tiptoed out through the kitchen. When I got out, I was like, yippee! So that day, I went to Kenya High School.
Yeah.
I had schoolmates staying there, and I was like, I will have fun with them. And actually, I discovered, like, back then I had all the panya routes to get into Kenya High, like, they were in my head, like,
Jesus
nobody's
Christ,
business.
bruh. You know, it's funny. It's funny that I did not know any panya route to Kenya. I did not know any. Zero.
Like, I figured that if we use Dusty Road, you could get in through the fence.
Oh.
There's the main gate. If you don't get through the main gate, there was this other one. I have no idea how I got to figure it out, but it was just there. Like, it was clean. You just enter here, you just walk in. Then you get into the field up there. So I was like, since I don't want to go in through the gate, I was suspicious that while walking on the main road, my brother might pass by going to his friend or something and find me out, and I should be reading. So during that time, see, I've gone to Kenya High. While getting there, we start playing ball. See this post that looks like a hockey thing, and I'm like, this post is so small, you can't kick a ball inside. I was like having all this left, right, and center. So it got to a point that I said, we just have fun anyway and anywhere possible. After that, we decided, we go to their house, where I think it was TJ. We go to TJ's place, then play Vice City. You know, back then, like, it was the game.
GTA
It was the game.
Vice City, man. Oh my god.
And we had cheat codes at that time.
That
and
game
I had them. I had the cheat codes in my head. So like people wanted to be around me. Because of that.
The cheat codes. I remember. You know, it's so funny. It's so funny. The thing about cheat codes that we used to have on GTA Vice City. In fact, like, dude, you remember people had like a paper.
Yeah, like
all the cheat codes, man.
Wow, it was mad. Like we had them to vibaya sana. So while getting there, we play. Then we decide, playing inside is getting kind of boring. Let's jack outside. There was this other guy who lived around Kenya High, inside the school. I think his mother was a teacher. I can't remember his name, but we went and called him. Then started playing football, all of us. I don't know what happened. I hit because I had, we were playing with slippers. Like, we don't even care if we were playing with shoes. My slippers zikakatika. And I was like, I must keep playing. Keep the slippers kando continue. So it got to a point that I scratched my toe. So see, it's bleeding. I was like, Sasa, what are we gonna do? It got to the point that people said, we should stop playing ball. We find another activity to do. So we played. It started getting late and people started getting home. So I figured, I should go home. See, I've enjoyed my birthday, man. So let me go home. So I go home. I get home. It's at night, man. Then I get home and meet my brother. He's looking at me. And I'm just there. I'm from having fun, man. I'm from having fun. So like, he's telling me the situation. Like, you left the house, you didn't say where you're going. Worried sick about you. And this is you're coming late into the house. Like, you've piled in this after this after this after this. Because you can imagine a small kid getting home, let's say later than 6 up or around 7.
Yeah, that one. Hey, bro. In fact, that time it was unacceptable, my friend. Oh, it was a disaster.
I got an ass whooping, and mind you, see, I had a foot injury, so I was like, if this continues, I think that blood might start spilling. So my foot, because like you have to, like at times there's some that you want to avoid, so you move behind. Sometimes you can't stay over there like a robot getting the beat.
I know. Like, sometimes you have to,
So like I'm moving back, then I touched the wound at the wrong place. Then it started bleeding. I was like, nice. So it starts bleeding. Stop beating me. Oh, stop beating me, my foot, man. I got an ass whoop. Ra. So the story was like, okopa your big brother. Uliona alichapa machari hadi akatoka damu. Hananga huruma. Mwogope. Wow. But at that time, like, he was worried sick. I can imagine like if I didn't come home and he was the one left with me, what he would have actually told the parents.
Oh my God. Yeah, I
like
know.
it was like
That's a crazy
like
situation.
It's mad, man. But as a child, you don't think about it.
In fact, this is a great scenario. You know, both of us right now are uncles. No, just imagine one of your nieces or nephews just disappears when you're with them. Like, dude. First of all, you'll be worried, but when you see them,
why are you going places without telling?
You don't say anything, my friend.
Yeah, what is?
What is?
What is?
Oh man, which which hole have you been removed from? You know? Kwani nilikufunza aje? Unajua?
What am I doing wrong? Is it I'm doing something wrong and you're not telling me?
Something wrong, you know? At least tuambie unaenda wapi, my friend? Like, honestly, for real, when you think about it in terms of like our nieces and nephews disappearing, okay, like not saying where they're going and then they go, you can be in a very tight spot.
Hey, man, because you don't know how to like maneuver through that situation.
Yeah, you're your mchezo, my friend.
like you've said that and you've reminded me. So on Sunday, the day we came with Gabe and Zara.
Yeah.
I was to pick up my other niece. So because she was left home alone and my sister went to this, is it Standard Chartered run or something?
Yeah, yeah.
So she had...
many people went.
You can imagine,
Many of my friends as well.
Oh, they went?
Yeah. One day, bro, we need to
like...
that one seems like a very interesting goal to have, actually.
We go like these kilometers, but it'll be like we work on a regular basis, like we remain fit.
Yeah, because you get to see
you can imagine.
Yeah.
So like the previous night, my sis tells me, you'll pick up Abigail. Okay, cool. No pressure. So that morning before we checked the house, we know we're going to pick Gail. Go to the car, get into the car, we check the house. First go to my sister's place. On getting there, the padlock is locked. What is? I try like calling my sister. She's running. She has already started her run, so like you can't get to her. And I'm like, I don't know anyone in this estate. I don't even know my sister's neighbor. I can't get in touch at all.
The classic 21st century manenos. You don't know who lives right here next door.
Like, man, this is mad. And when we were kids, like, I could find you.
Yeah, bro, like when we were kids, you can be tracked down. As in, they know exactly where you'll be. If you're not here, you are here. If you're not here,
you are here. But right now, it's mad, man. I tell you, it's mad.
Yeah.
So, I called my brother's wife. Yeah? I'm like, do you have my niece's phone number, the one that she uses, like the big sister to Abigail, Kyla? She gives me that number. I call the first line. Hey, it's not off. The second, it's off. And I'm like, hey, sympathy. And they were like, that's crazy. And the house is locked. I'm like, question marks. How am I going to get her?
Yeah.
Because we came to pick her up. We knew she was going to be at home, and she's not at home. The mother is not picking up. So I'm like, what's happening?
Yep.
So like we get there and we're like wondering what's going to happen because we can't reach the mom. We don't know how to maneuver in this kind of situation. And I was like, cool, chill. What can you do about it? Nothing. Can you even bother starting to worry about it? No. And we have to go to church, yeah?
Yeah.
So we decided, we'll go to church. Then after church, we'll come back and check if she's around.
Yeah.
So we went to church. Then I was like, let me pass by your place. So I came, and the kids were like, fascinated by the dog and bonding with each other.
Fun. It was nice.
And mind you, like, if we weren't in a hurry, like these guys wanted to stay, like they didn't want to touch this place. They didn't want, like, bana, like we're ruining the fun, bana.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny. This place, bana, is so fascinating, bana.
I know.
So it got to a point that so see we like checked here, then went to my sister's place. On getting there, the door of the house is open. I'm like,
wide open now.
Yeah. So I'm like, why will she leave the door open and go to play? Because she wasn't in the house, she wasn't in the building. She was outside,
Jesus.
jumping up and down. So I told while I was parking the car, I told the kids, go get your sister. You come, we go to the house. They get there and I'm in the car because they were supposed to get her then come. I get in the car and no one is coming, bana. I am wondering, how comes no one is coming? Let me go check. So I lock the car then go. And I was like, I get inside the house, you go to the bedroom, you check in the toilet. You're even tempted to go check under the bed, but it's the pallet bed, so you can't check under.
Yeah, you can't really check.
So I was like, what's happening? Like this girl has a lot of games going on in her head. Or like, akona mchezo. So I told my nephew, who go outside calling your sister's name to see if she'll respond. While he was walking outside calling her name, all of a sudden she comes out of nowhere. She's smiling at everyone. Like she doesn't understand the situation completely.
Yeah,
she doesn't understand. Hi! And she wants to hug you at that point in time. So you're like,
bro, you're like, I know.
Then I'm like, didn't your mother tell you we're coming to pick you up? Then she's like, no. And she has that look in her eye.
That look.
Like, what are you talking about?
I know.
No.
I was not told anything of that sort.
You're telling me things that I don't understand. So I was like, either way, it doesn't matter. It already happened.
It happened.
So I was like, close the door. We go. So we went home. So getting to the house, we're like, my sister-in-law is like, hey, I was really worried. And then after that, she was like, did your big sister call you to tell you, why didn't she communicate with me, telling me ABCD? Kumbe even my big sister didn't know what was happening.
Allah.
Kumbe my niece had gone to church with the neighbor. And we didn't know, nobody knew.
I see what you mean now.
Yeah, so they had gone to church and we're coming to pick her up and we don't know what's happening. So and she was actually told, it's just that she didn't pay attention. She was all in.
No, dude, kids, they're going to lie. Absolutely. Even you just think about how many things to lie about. Were you told about this?
No.
No. I didn't know. That time you know.
And very innocent.
Very innocent, looking all nini and stuff. You're like,
So you that point when you told me our nieces, you were talking about our nieces, we were left with our nephews or nephews, you were wondering, hey, I had that same situation, and while we were talking, I got to understand that. It didn't start now. We also had that.
Yeah, we had it. By the way, they usually say malipo ni hapa, my friend. Everything that we did, either your niece, your nephew, or your own child will do something
similar in one or the other.
Then unati, sasa you're in that situation that your brother was in.
Yeah, exactly.
Where the hell is she? You know, where the hell? Mkamtafuta, then she emerges out of nowhere smiling at you.
Like, hi. Like, you're like, what?
This thing is crazy.
What? It was mad, I tell you. It was mad. So yeah, for me, I'd say like most of the childhood, I ended up like looking for fun, and whatever I searched for, I found. It's like everything that I actually wanted, I got.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
In the sense that if I wanted a ball, like I used to think like when we used to stay in shopping center.
Yeah.
I was like, we should be playing ball. We should be playing ball like for us small guys. Yeah. Then out of nowhere, my dad comes from work and he's brought a ball. Ama sometimes he comes and he's brought a bike. So like we can ride the bike inside the estate. Like, how the hell did this happen?
How do you know, man?
And I can't remember having a conversation with him, telling him that
I want a
bike.
But that's a very interesting. You know, that brings us back to the point of like writing your own goals, you know. And that time you're a kid, sometimes when you become an adult you start complicating these things. But then when you're a kid you know what you want
and you go
and you're attracting it by whatever, you know.
And I think as a child, saying what you want or like going what you, because like most of the time you'll find that kids will tell their mom or their dad one thing, then they are so passionate about it that it manifests into their life
it does.
somehow.
They're passionate, but they're very passionate.
Like they go for it and they don't take no for an answer.
And they come and tell you direct, my friend. They don't go through the corners.
Corners.
They tell you the way it is. By the way, I want this and this. I want a ball. Like, everybody, or the way I used to ask for PS. I was like, everybody has a PS.
Yes, it's just me.
It's just me. And there's so many games, like if I have this thing, I'll only be playing it after I finish the homework. You have to convince, you know what you're trying to say.
About. Like, the sales pitch was on point.
Literally, your sales pitch as a kid is like the best. It was literally the best thing to exist because you literally covered every single point. And then you leave them now to, contemplate, and they really can't say no.
Like it's an irresistible offer.
You've like thought of everything they would have said. That's a very interesting. That's a very interesting one.
So like that's how I came to realize like apart from like most of my childhood, like me being a man going solo, the solo adventures of Saj. It got to a point that I realized that I couldn't do these adventures on my own. Like there's this time that you remember when we went to watch the Smurfs? That was actually my first movie.
Yeah, I remember when we went to.
So
Jesus, when was that? I forgot which year it was.
I know.
Yeah.
Like during that day, I had no idea you guys were going for a movie or any of this. I was just, we're going to have fun at Reasons.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I just come and like, we're chatting. We're chatting. Okay. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but we just checked the house, got into the car, and man, the music that we listened to the car, like, it was mad crazy. Like, we used to sing along to it. We had, like, it was just that, it's like, we're the embodiment of fun.
Yeah, that time, by the way. And then, which car was it, first of all? It was which car?
It was K. The white one.
The white one was KAU. Oh wait, which the white one, the long one? Diana's.
I think it was Diana's.
Diana's the one that the Scarlet.
It was Scarlet KAU.
That Kylie gonna sauti, my friend. I could hear my sister coming from the roundabout. By the way, at that time we had these songs that we really liked.
And it was like universal for us, even for like the fun fact about it is that like Diana used to bring out like I don't know if I should say this. Like, she had the child in her when she was with us.
Yeah, so literally it was just...
It linked to that so much that like it was fun for
Yeah,
everyone.
it was
like,
fun. We just become ourselves, kabisa. You know, you become, you now start to, that's the funny thing, That times you're hiding yourself, then Diana used to just, be
bring
like
out
us.
it,
Yeah.
it
And then
brings the
you
change.
out, kabisa.
You couldn't hide it.
That time was fun. That was fun. That reminds me of the time. You remember the time when we went for, like, it was like she was trying to celebrate, like, my birthday. Remember? Upstairs. It was there.
Whoa. That time, like,
That was crazy.
like we ate,
dude.
then you eat, you feel your stomach is full, and you haven't even finished the food,
and you continue. Jesus Christ. Dude, you remember? In fact, I usually tell people that story. In fact, that story. That thing is crazy. Okay, long story. One day we'll get to this story. But now, for now, we had eaten so much on that day that Mimi, once I got to the seat, like I just lay there like somebody who just can't move, I'm sick or something. I couldn't even walking out of the car to get to the seat. That's when nilijua, my friend, this is what kushiba like now nimejaza
kabisa ile unasema nimeshika simaliza chakula kwa sahani.
And to make it worse, unakumbuka tulimaliza chakula, then we went to, remember Uchumi was opposite. Tukaenda Uchumi, we bought some candy na tukaongezea. Jesus Christ, that spoiled everything.
And the way, like, I figured for us, like we have a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
Like we used to eat packets of sweets and we don't get that sugar rush. We're like, we're okay. We're okay, bana. Like, I realized that this was mad.
Yeah, that was crazy. We used to have like lots of packets of sweets, and like what?
And we like we can get some more.
Bring more. Yeah, and go buy. You remember these pin pops which had like many different flavors. Just like find this one and this one and this one. We used to buy like many of them.
Man. So it got to a point that I nika get to understand, like, even that point, like the way we went to watch the Smurfs, as much as we got there and then we were told, it's already started, and we were like, it started by how Atejaka 10 minutes. And you're telling us it's already started. It's just the starting credits.
It's Nigeria very fast.
So we like
that taught me a lesson about life sometimes. I'm like, we were late, yes, but then now, hey, we still have to get in.
Man. And it's premiering, man.
Hey. No way, man.
Hey, you can imagine, like, we were among the first people in the country
to watch. Hey, and that Nini, it's such a great movie that I've even watched it with Chris.
No! Hey. Like, it was on point like that.
It was nice.
It was on point like that. So while I got home, it got to I started telling people about it, the experience, and they were like, kumbe interesting, it was interesting like that. So like, yeah. Okay, let me not take all the time talking. Let's get to your side now.
Okay, my side now. Let's see. So, in terms of our childhood, maybe for real, I feel like there were many moments of me being myself, and there are many moments of me like just being silent. I remember, like if you remember me, okay. No. What I realized later on is that I'm very open with like my close friends. That one now, bro, I can go crazy. I actually go crazy. But before we get to that stage, I'll be the most silent person you know. And I was like that in school for a very long time. So. Like basically that's how people saw me. Like I was a silent guy. Only Akina Mohaya, Akina Judy, like the ones who like
Akina Donatella,
they're the ones who really knew Zin, like when and then I can just speak from that aspect of life, like that time when I was a kid, I'm trying to go back there, trying to see, like, in fact, let me now tell the story about the food, because that story, it was just too funny. Like, I don't even know how she had planned the whole thing, remember? But tulikuwa like, you had come to my place, and then suddenly you are being told we are going. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
like we had such moments.
Yeah, I had such moments. We are going. Okay.
Like even with Pato, we had such
Yeah,
moments.
even Pato, we are just seated in the house doing our own things, and then they come like, we are going. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. We don't know where we're going, but let's go.
Man.
And in fact, that you know, like it was like a whole new adventure every random time.
Yeah.
They're like, let's go, and we don't know where we're going,
but we'll have fun. We'll make fun.
We'll make fun out of it when we get there. So yeah, that reminds me of like, you know, there's the first time like we even had like an experience with my sister, you know, like let me try to remember that. Let's think of like a movie. There's a time we went to Capital Center. Was it Capital Center?
I got confused between Westgate, Capital Center, and there's this one that's usually near Westgate. I don't know the.
Which one was it? UK.
I used to confuse UK with Westgate.
Yeah.
Oh, because we usually went there shopping for.
Yeah, even Sarit. You remember Sarit?
Yeah.
We literally lived in Sarit.
Yeah, like we owned Westlands.
Hey, Sarit. You know, it's so funny that I've even forgotten some of the things we used to do at Sarit. Because all I remember there was this time Dana took us there. You know, she took me there, and like kulikuwa na like a place that sells pizza, but it's like not normal pizza. It's like a big pizza, like a pizza that is this thick, like it's properly thick. You know. And then that time, being a kid, the way we were talking about the story of being a kid, says I mean, like I can eat this.
This is a challenge, man.
Yeah, it's a big challenge.
Like you're telling me to eat a cake in 30 minutes. Yeah, bring the cake.
I have never seen this type of pizza before. I'm very interested, you know. So nafikiria itakuwa kama normal pizza. Itakola kama nne na ndiko sawa. I took the first one. The second one I packed it and went home. I was just like, you know, okay, and then this, you know, it just brings about your stuff. Yeah, it's a small experience. You know, some things you just like. If you think back to your childhood, you know, there's some things that zimepotea. There are things that you really just can't remember. Like unless like somebody tries to remind you of it, or like something happens which reminds you of something that happened kitambo. So like some of these things that you pick up, come here, pizza, my friend. Like a big ass pizza, like a thick thing. You know me, as in I that time I loved pizza. Dude, pizza was like everything.
like you've packed it up, everything.
Yeah, pizza. So Diana took us there. They're looking for a place to eat. We tukazunguka hapo, like the food court. You know the food court. Yeah, tumezunguka hapo. Then we go to that place. I even forgot what it was called. Me, I just knew they had a big pizza.
Yeah, I know. Like this is what was it like that.
Yeah, this is. So that I really enjoyed that. You know, and that's, you know, sometimes I think about these experiences and I'm like, they basically made you try to. They were shaping us in some way, you know, making you experience life in some way, you know, like, because I feel like many times people try to find a reason for like their life. You get trying to find a reason for why this happened or why this happened, you know, and then finally you come to understand, you know. But then this is a whole topic
on its own.
We really can't discuss it in this story. But then what we can say is, you know, from the basic idea that we have is that life is these experiences. You get these small things. These small things, they make your life interesting. So now, you know, if kama ungekuwa umesneak kutoka home uende kwa kina Ian, you don't have a story like that to tell. You know? Yeah. So, and then now this reminds me of you. I don't know if it went with you, but then do you remember what was this place called? In Sarit, there used to be this place where there's so many
games.
Yeah, those games. The arcade, yeah. We went there together. Yeah. That place was awesome, man. And then that it's so unfortunate that childhood, you know, sometimes you just miss it. You know,
like you
actually miss it because we remember all these experiences. Hiyo nini sasa hiyo arcade. The amusement arcade. You remember? Amusement arcade. Ilikuwa na maride, ilikuwa na meza ya kushoot.
You remember that arm wrestling thing?
Yeah, even the arm wrestling thing. Oh my god. Yo, so Aki, those things were so fun. Wow. Dude, nilikuwa nikifika huko, as in, I just wished that I had 1 million of those tokens of them.
Like
you can play everything and you play for a long time.
Yeah.
So, in terms of not missing our childhood, unajua nilifanya nini? There's a time now, see, I've become old, like, I've at least nimeanza kufika, like, later on, let's say this time it's a nini, what's it called? These times sasa tumeingia high school and stuff, and in terms like that, you have some free time and something like that, you're like, I really want to go back and see this place. And you go there and you find something else.
like it's moved or it closed.
It closed
2 years ago.
They moved the things that you really enjoyed. Do you remember this kulikuwa na hii moja like F1? That thing was so fun. Even riding the bike. You remember
the bike was it was wow.
So nimerudi hapo, I've gone back there. I'm trying to I want to relive this childhood experience. Man, I want to relive it, at least something that I can still do while I'm still young. I go back there and I find it's not there. I was so disappointed. I can tell you for free. Yeah. So, okay, when I pick from that point, I'm trying to, I want to relate part of this to, our theme, our idea of, normal as a disease, What I realized, by the way, is that, these expressions that we've just had right now, you're embracing these stories to talk. That's you embracing you. Did you realize that? Like, it's you saying, I want to do this, and then you went and did it. You see, it's basically you saying, I want to go and have some fun. I'm going to Ian's place. I'm going to Ian's place. It doesn't matter what and then you find a proper opportunity for you to do it, and then you do it.
You execute, you utilize it to the fullest.
Yeah. So what I realized, is that, or rather, what I've seen from my own, I think you'd agree with this, is that many people usually have experiences over the time when they're growing up, which make them shut themselves out. Or like they just close the doors to who they really are. And then it stays inside them. Like, I've realized that many times people do that. So now, these days, it's very funny that you're trying to fit in more than you're trying to be yourself. You're trying to fit in more than you're trying to be yourself.
You're trying so much to be normal.
Yeah, you're trying so much to be normal instead of... we've just watched a video which was very interesting. I don't remember the JP.
Yeah,
JP. So the idea is, embrace your weirdness, the weird part of you. Just embrace it. And the funny thing, the on top of that, he just made us realize that you're actually weirder than you actually think. The things that you think make you weird, they're weirder than you think.
Like you can't get to the threshold of how weird you are.
Yeah, you really can't understand.
While you're thinking it.
Yeah, you really can't get to
your thinking is just a minimum of it.
Limited.
It gets weirder the more it goes.
Yeah, and it's funny that weirdness is what actually makes us unique. Sometimes you are the real embodiment of you. Like sometimes you really are yourself. Like somebody can actually tell this one now. This is, like somebody, like let's say people who are close to you, they have seen it before, and if you try to shut it out, they're like, this is not the person we know.
This is not you.
Yeah, this is not him, but what is happening here?
Why is he behaving like this?
Hey. Oh. And then comes another lesson, isn't it?
As for me, I came to realize while you were talking, me, it got to a point that I was switched school, Initially, I started in State House primary. Then I got switched to Nairobi primary. My experience in Nairobi primary. Okay, instead it was primary. Like I used to have these weird shoes. I think I got back in the day, like butter was everything.
The butter was everything, you know.
So my parents usually got me these shoes. They you use suede to like kupaka kiatu rangi. Like you suede,
polish.
Yeah, you polished it with suede.
Yeah.
So I had like these two pairs. One was black, the other one was brown. Like I used to play football nicely when I was small. That guys were like, it's your shoes. Like you're not the one who's playing. It's the shoes that are making you play nicely.
Dude.
So it got to a point like guys were like, do you have another pair? Come with them tomorrow. Even me, I want to play as nice as you play. So like they see this, it got to a point that I actually believe that my shoes are the one. They're making me play nicely. Like the movie like Mike. So I was like, this thing. Hey, like I actually believed that it was the shoes. So the next day, like it got to a point that I was like, at times I used to carry two pairs. Kojele, me, I haven't gone in school to read or learn. There I'm just there wasting time, listening to this person ahead of me, this grown up talk. Then I'll leave, then go back at home. Next day plan on how I'll enjoy. In the morning I'll think about how I'm going to fight with the house help while she's taking me to school. Like that was
I see what you mean.
I came to figure out for me when I was small, like I did not value school in any form or way up until like, around class 6, class 7, class 7 per se. That's when I actually valued school. But prior to that, I was just thinking about fun.
So basically, you can even say that your purpose for like now even going to school that time was like I want to have fun.
Yeah,
there.
Because like, I'll meet up with all these guys.
I know.
I'll get to experience. So we can say like when I was in class 1, I felt like State House was like because this beating, you're being beaten by a teacher for doing what. I was actually against this. I felt like it was meh. So it got to a point that we started receiving like new kids in class. We were in class 1 because after nursery we went direct to class 1 because there's no point in going to PP and you were already in PP in State House.
Yeah.
So we went direct to class 1. So see, we were from State House nursery to State House primary. So we knew each other the whole class. Then we start getting these grown big kids. Like they looked much bigger than us. They were taller. They were stronger for the guys. So you'll find that if they were smart, this is actually the only time that I got to see like people being advanced to the next grade. Prior to that, I had no idea there was something like this. Because this guy was just thinking about fun, but no. So it got to a point like I'm seeing this grown kid, he's being put as the prefect. I'm like, we don't know him. How can he be prefect? And he even doesn't know us. I was like, this thing is not making any sense.
I like how you're remembering these stories because you're literally saying how somebody would think when you're that age. You know, that's precisely what you're thinking.
So it got to a point that I was so confused. We have like 2 people in the class. They're all older than us. They are much bigger than us. And they are classified as the class prefect. This was a scam in my eyes. And I was like, why is this happening? Then it got to a point that, they were advanced to the next class. Then the teacher was like, they picked the people who came, the first person in exams. They were the ones who are being put as prefect. I was like, this is a bit reasonable. It makes sense.
It makes a bit sense. Yeah, that time we were like,
there's this classification here. Because you did well, you get... So I was like, interesting. So it got to a point, I don't know the discussion, how it went back at home. So the voices that are coming in my head that now, My mom was like talking to someone. I don't know who she was talking to. He was like, that school performs better than State House Primary. We're going to take him there. We're going to take him there. Next thing I know, I'm in this new school. All these strange people, you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
You're like, how am I going to survive in this? So I was introduced to this, like, you are switched up. You're going to somewhere new, somewhere you don't know people, and you're supposed to survive and thrive in that area at that young age. And at that time, I'm not in that mindset to get to understand this.
Yeah, I get what you mean, yeah.
So I have no idea how I made friends, but I ended up making friends. But it got to a point that you actually feel like, this is strange. You feel like this is hard in the sense that there's all these new names I'm supposed to get into my head. I'm supposed to survive with these people. And the people who I can actually remember are the people who actually stand out. Like the big fat kid in class. That one I remember.
Yeah, I remember that one.
The tall kid in class. That I remember. But all these other ones, like, I can't remember them. It's hard for me. Like, I'm like, and on top of that, I'm supposed to learn these things in class.
You're put in a challenging environment.
Yeah, bwana. This was a lot of pressure on a young kid, bwana. I was like, Mimi, will I manage? So it got to a point that I was like, I need to figure out a way how to handle this. I can't say right now how I handle it because that memory is not like there for me to tap it. But I managed and I thrived up until, let's say, class 4 over there. That's when things started getting weird for me, because I was that active kid in school because, like, I'm not much of a talker, but activities, I indulge myself in them. Like, I'm completely in. I'm doing it. I don't care the consequences or results in them. If it's running, if it's playing football. It's like being, like, they say, like, I was told this by a girl, women are more focused on people and men are more focused on things. So I was completely focused on things. People I didn't care about that much. The only time I care about people is, are we having fun together?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
We're playing football. Are we playing basketball? Is it Bano we're playing? Chobowa? Like, what are we doing together?
Chobowa, my friend, was a very dangerous
game.
Oh my God, my friend.
But in school, did you play?
I played Chobowa. Guys, Chobowa is a dangerous game. That game, my friend, ilikuwa ukiwa kwa chobo hivi. And then the place where you're supposed to touch, the person you're supposed to touch, yoko happy. Where
they will kill you.
They will kill you, my friend.
We are going to kill you.
We are going to destroy you.
You are dead.
And then the funny thing is that I've come to learn the art of welcome to Jobo later on in life. No! Imagine if I had it that time. No, yes, come here, my friend.
We chase you around the field. And once we get you because you make dust,
you are in trouble, my friend. And in fact, it's so funny that we enjoyed that game. That's so
like it's mad. You're killing someone.
Yeah, you're trying to beat somebody the hell up.
But you're enjoying it.
That Chobowa compares. That game was fun.
The worst about it was, like, as kids, you're afraid of girls. Like, there are some other species.
Oh, man. Yes, there's some other species.
These people are like aliens, man.
Yeah, some Choboshika,
Choboshika dem.
Yeah, Choboshika dem.
So you're supposed to pick a girl that you're supposed to cut, and you're like, I'm afraid of girls.
Why would I even? Like, when is the time that I will, touch them?
Like, in like,
it
was like,
no way.
Imagine you go to a point, I was so fascinated with girls. I was like, I'm going into the girls' toilet.
Dude, God.
Like I'm going into the girls' toilet. I don't know how, I don't know where, but I'm going to see what happens inside there.
Dude, my friend, you know, this is you expressing yourself the way. But this is nuts.
They're my thoughts, man.
Yeah.
You get fascinated about these people, like they're not humans. You get?
Yeah, I know what you
like
mean.
The thing that they put out there is like, you should be afraid of girls. You shouldn't beat girls. There's a lot of things that it made like being a girl a myth or something like a legend. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It was like it was that scary.
Yeah, in fact, that reminds me. You remember this list that we wrote? You have it here on the computer.
Oh, our rules and regulations in secondary school.
Regulations in secondary school.
When we get to...
On your point. Not thinking about girls was number 5.
Don't worry, you guys. We'll get to an episode where we'll get to understand what happened in secondary.
Dude.
And how we'll get to think about it. We'll get to understand like all the rules that we had for us.
This was crazy.
So, it got to a point that I was like, I should get into this girl's toilet. Because, like, they can't be a myth for the rest of my life. I need to understand it.
Dude, oh my God.
So,
you know, I'm thinking about that right now and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah! in that day.
Yeah, that's like, oh my God.
So I was like, I need to find time and go into that toilet. I need to see what happens inside there. For us, the boys' toilet was just a sink, a tap, the toilets there.
And what is called this? What is it called? Latrine.
The latrine.
Yeah.
So I was like, how are these girls' toilet like? How? So you sit down and think of a plot on how you'll enter. And I was like, So I actually didn't make a plan to go into the girls' toilet. But there's this time. I think it was like when the school, there's this time for checking school-wise for 30s, the time.
Oh, and everybody has left. Basically.
So people I'm waiting to be picked, and I'm like, so what am I going to do? I'm alone. Then there's girls around. So I was like, let me go to that toilet, the one that's near the field, near the basketball court. If you was in Nairobi Primary, you will understand it. There was this toilet around that. There's the basketball there, then the tarmac, then the toilets over there. On the left, it's the boys' toilet. On the right, it's the girls' toilet. I was like, I'm going in. We're going in for the mission impossible. So initially, you walk in like you're kind of timid.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're going to see. You don't know what you're going to see. And it's girls, man. It's girls, man. It's scary. It's girls. So I walk in, and first I see you see the sink. There's a mirror over there. And I'm like, I've never seen a mirror in the toilet. Yes, back at home, there's no mirror in the toilet because the sink is outside. It's there outside the toilet. Yeah. So I'm getting in the bathroom and I'm saying, hey, there's a sink inside there, and there's a mirror right there. Okay.
All right.
Let's check the toilet now. I opened the door. Guess what I saw?
What did you see?
Just a normal toilet.
Just a normal toilet,
man. I was like, this thing was eating me up for a couple of years just to figure out it's a normal toilet.
You're like, that means that, dude, your imagination was running wild.
Yeah.
You're like, I wonder what the toilet looks like on that side,
Yeah.
I wonder, and I will find out today.
Yeah. You can imagine all the thoughts that were coming into my mind at that point in time.
Dude, that's crazy, man. That's actually nuts.
So that's the story of how I got into the girls' toilet. Then later in life, I got to figure out, you can be using the girls' toilet as well. if you find out this other toilet is full, just jump in and voila. Man. So my biggest fear was I'll get into the girls' toilet. Then you find girls inside there.
Yeah, that one now, bro. It's so awkward. Because that time you're still young, just imagine walking in there and then you see girls. They're like,
imagine they'll scream or something.
They'll scream, And then you'll become the talk of the school.
Yeah.
Nigga was walking into girls' toilets. Oh my god, that's crazy, man.
So like I go to like I had that fear of girls. I was like, do they fart? Do they even go to the toilet? It's like they were an alien. Like you get like a kid because like you're told girls are different than boys. So you're like, what makes the difference? Like it was
that time we really don't understand.
And you don't get the gist of it. You're like so super curious about it, and you're like, wow. Like up to date, I keep on understanding things better about girls by when the day goes by. Like I haven't like
every day. No, it's dude, you remember there's this meme, by the way, about the book to understand guys and then the book to understand ladies. Dude,
like it's a big book. The reason why I'm saying till date, I have sisters at home, So my sister was complaining like cramps and stuff. So I was like, okay, it's normal because we've all had girls complaining about cramps. So while going to the toilet, see there's this basin where you can chota maji and use it to flush, or you flush the toilet by itself. At times when there's no water in the taps, you have to like
just chota.
So while I was going to chota the water, I found like she had her panties inside there. Then I was like, see, you like wash it. Then she was like, that is not meant for washing. She assumed that I understood what she was talking. You know, that reminds me, there's this video that was going around on the internet. It was like, that thought, who saved the world homelessness? So you can imagine what the video is about, So there's this girl, apparently she lives in the States, She was like, if there are homeless people, what they should do is buy a house.
Honestly, wow. I just wow.
You didn't even think of that, did you?
Wow, I didn't. I had no clue, no idea.
Man, I didn't know people were buying houses there.
Wow,
man.
if I don't have a house, just buy a house.
Man, a homeless person just buy a house.
Bro, like how is it possible?
So that was the naive me when I was telling my sister, you just wash it.
I solved your problem.
Man. So like I got to understand like if you want to understand girls, you don't look at what they tell you. You basically look at what they do, because their actions actually tells you more than their words do.
Yeah, that's the truth. That is the plain truth.
It's like that saying when they say like talk is big, talk is cheap. Sorry, talk is cheap. Like they'll talk so much and do something completely different.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do the complete opposite of that. And then that's a very interesting way of looking at it. By the way, you know, like when once you have your lady there, you know. You over time you start noticing these small cues.
Yeah,
like somebody's saying one thing meaning the other. You know. It's a very interesting type of story.
It's like they expect you to get it.
Yeah, you're supposed to get it.
If you don't,
the way they've thought it is the way you're supposed to get it.
Yeah.
If you don't get it, forget about it.
If you don't, and like if you forget about it, then it's a whole issue.
Yeah, it's a big issue. If you umejipata in a situation where you need to understand and yet you are not trying to understand, you're just like, okay, so my friend, it will come to haunt you.
You really get it.
Itakutafuta by the way.
Itakozile like,
so now he's decided, you know what?
Hapa ndio tumefika sasa. Like this is where you're going now, yeah?
It's so funny, honestly. It's an interesting thing. Yeah. If you're listening to this and you think you disagree, you know, you should probably just type it somewhere and then let us know, because this is like true most of the time.
Yeah, it's something that you get to figure it out.
Yeah. You have to figure it out, man. Hey.
Anyways, a girls will be a topic on its own too.
Yeah,
like we'll just get an experience of it on its own too.
Yeah, literally.
So like let us not dive into it. But I guess like we had like our childhood, as much as you remembered some bits about it, some you weren't like very clear about it as much as I was. Actually, it's like you told us that there's this bits of childhood for you that you actually like you wanted to relive that experience. Man.
Yeah, literally.
Like it passed you and like you figured it out like
way later. Yeah.
So you get to understand like for me like I was mostly present.
Yeah.
And from your side, you are like
cruising through. You're cruising through, just experiencing something and holding on to that. Like, this was nice. You know? I get what you mean. Yeah.
So like you've actually, while saying you are holding on to this, you've reminded me. Remember like when I started watching the Avatar, The Last Airbender?
Yeah.
Then you came to my place.
Yeah.
Then you were like, Avatar, you finished the first season.
I remember.
So like for me at that time, like I was cruising through this. I want to get to know the story. I want to know how it ended. So once I give you the CD, because I remember I gave you season 1 and season 2.
Yeah, you gave me season 1 and season 2. So, I even remember how the CDs look.
Like
that is so funny. Imagine that time, that sweet time when we had compact discs. It's a classic time.
It's the legit time, man. You get to experience these things on a whole new level.
The young guys won't get it. You'll be classic now. You'll be classic. The old guys.
Yeah.
The young ones don't get it. Yeah. You have compact disc and even a port on your computer. Right now, this computer.
There's no CD. No CD. Even mine doesn't have. So like I give you the disc, yeah. So here I'm trying to finish season 3. Then when I came to your place, you're telling me all these stories and like, do you remember this part when they were in the desert? I'm like, when they were in the desert, like when they were all thirsty and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I was like, what? Let's see. I need to see this part. So like,
it's so funny that you brought that memory back the way it was, because I remember I told you that story of them in the desert.
Yeah.
This guy is like, drink cactus juice. Nothing scratcher.
It's the crunches. Yes. and the way like they were putting like a sucker in the moment, like you're getting to experience, and you're like, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
So like, while I was watching it by myself, I just cruised through.
You just passed.
But when I got to be with you and Ubo at that time, I was like, how did I miss this epic moment? I was like, wow, man, I shouldn't be missing this.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So that's how I got to experience like you experience the world on your own. I experience it on my own. If we link it up, it's something
completely. It's even better. Actually, it's even better. You know, both of us see things from different perspectives. And I've seen that to be true in like life. Imagine you're trying to do anything, and then you bring people together. They see things in a different way. You know, you're able to experience it in a way better way than if you are like watch.
So like that's how. See, you've seen I'm reading the book Mastery by Robert Greene.
Yeah,
it actually tells us about how like back in the past the Homo sapiens. Actually, I'm doing air quotes while saying Homo sapiens because is it Charles Darwin who told us that men were once Homo erectus, then Homo habilis, then Homo sapiens, then Homo sapiens sapiens. See, it's Charles Darwin. So Sadhguru usually says this. I came to understand this like a few weeks ago. He usually says this. The Charles Darwin, the scientist, told you that 1 million years ago, man was like monkey. But right now, if you eat chicken, by the time the day ends, the chicken has become you.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like
Literally.
like there's no like in between. Like
The chicken has literally become you.
yeah. So I'm like, like this guy was saying that this Charles Darwin with all the science doesn't make sense. What he was saying doesn't make sense because how do you explain me eating a chicken now, becoming me, and back then we were monkeys? Like that theory doesn't make sense if you look at it.
Okay,
like,
from that perspective, you're like wondering how
yeah.
does this even link up? Yeah.
And how did people accept this? Yeah, but at right now, because I'm privileged enough to like get to understand and acquire this information, I understand where Sadhguru comes from. But back when I was in high school, I was like, So because after reading the book *Sapiens*, that's when I understood, Homo sapiens, Homo habilis, Homo diapitemotogota.
Hey, those difficult names.
Like all of these sapiens, they were living at the same time. It's not like there was this one, then there was this one. After this one evolved to this one. It wasn't like that. Like all of them were living in the
a similar time frame.
Yeah. So it's just that this one got extinct, then this one got extinct, then this other one got extinct.
Okay.
After reading that *Sapiens* book, that's how I got to understand that they weren't in different timelines; they were all together.
Interesting.
So that's after linking that with what Sadhguru says, I understand like us as humans now, we were together with all these other sapiens, but us were the ones who actually survived. That's how I got to understand. That's my understanding on it. So like I was like, kumbe this is what's been happening. This is how I'm connecting 1 + 1, making it 2. So in order for our forefathers to like move forward, make this all developments and stuff, it's because they were in groups.
Oh yes.
They had to work in groups.
They had to work
for them
together.
to move. So I got to understand that as much as I find myself being introverted, or as much as I find myself segregating myself, I need to like develop like a small group where we look out for each other.
Yeah.
That's the only way that I understand now that I can move forward.
I totally agree with you. And I think that the idea of having a small group of people who you guys are pushing each other,
looking out for each other.
Guys or ladies, just let me not.
Just
like the group that you guys are looking out for each other, pushing each other and moving forward together. I think that's a very strong concept, which unfortunately over time people have forgotten.
And like people are so like into individualism that they forget.
The age of the 21st century, like you prefer to be by yourself than to be with people. It's a very interesting age. But honestly, if you're proactive about bringing about that type of synergy that comes with the group, like getting ideas from every different person, agreeing on your way forward, maybe you guys come together and everybody states their goals, and then you decide, what time frame are you going to do this in? And we are the ones to remind you that you're slacking. Unacheza na maisha yako.
You've actually said that. You reminded me like when we used to play ball in the field over there. Like we were getting together as a group, then everyone has a post to play.
Everyone has a place to play.
Like if we mess in this side, you are to blame for it. You are responsible for it. If we need it this side, you have to need for it. So at the end of the day, like we come out and we're like victorious and we're like, you did your work, I did my work, and we ended up doing everything that we ended up doing. And I came to realize that if you want to be doing something, like you have to like have those. You have. People say groupthink is bad, but you can't create your own groupthink. Like. This is the group
especially crafted group think.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
like,
group think, like negative group think. They just lands on you and everybody's thinking the same thing. But the group think is a very interesting concept.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that definitely.
So I was thinking like we create our own group think. Like we brainwash each other to acquire the goals that we want.
I think that's a very interesting way of looking at it. Yeah.
Like we're manipulating each other to get to where we want to be. So like we push each other on getting to there. So I came to realize like it's something that we did as kids without our knowledge.
Yeah, we really did.
Yeah, we like you can consider the goals that we set for ourselves. Like when we used to play like Mortal Kombat. Like we had to beat the boss.
We had to beat the boss. We had to beat the boss
so
and keep
like,
moving.
So like, if I fail, man, you try.
Yeah, you try.
Because we're focused on beating
focused.
it. Not like I'm the one who's going to beat it. No, we want to beat.
We have to beat. Oh my God, dude, that is a powerful statement. Powerful because many people forget about that. Those that small thing. We can't really draw much from it until we come back right now, and then you remember we were like seriously focused on destroying the boss. That's what we were going to do, and it didn't matter how long we had to repeat. We die, you repeat, you continue like that.
We were just focused. We were going to get to the next level. Yeah. If you were fighting Kitana, if I fail, you do it.
Yeah, you do it.
And when you're about to win, I'm like cheering you on like nobody's business. Wow. It's not like I'm the one who beat. No, we're like we beat.
How is it? How is it that this very interesting, very small things just get lost along the way? These are very fundamental concepts which like help people in life generally to achieve. Yeah. And it's just you used to have it when it was innate when you were a kid. So easy ni kama imepotea.
Yeah, you like ilienda wapi, and you can't even explain why it was.
Yeah, you really can't. And you sometimes you don't even know that it was there. Like you can't even identify that it was there. Yeah.
So the reason why like I brought it up, so you remember like we moved to Embakasi. Yeah. So I met up with this kid. His name was Swale. For Swale and I was in this school van. So they were the first people that I got to know. Kojili, he was very vocal and stuff. He was those loud kids. Yeah. So like he called me over to his place and he told me, after school, come to my place. You just say you're going to house number ABCD, then you'll be shown. So during Saturday, I went to his place. So like for us, we were like game addicts, like bad. Us and games were like
loved gaming, man.
Yeah.
So still have fun.
Till date, man. Till date.
Yeah. Of course, right now we have less time to do that.
to do the playing.
Yes.
So like I went to his place. Then I find guys playing. They're playing Mortal Kombat. So usually with us, while we were playing, like there was no pressure on anyone.
Yeah.
Like it was all, we're doing this.
Yes, let's do it.
So when I got there, and I'm playing because I'm used to doing this, So I'm playing. Hey, they see this guy is a pro. Like they actually tell you, hey, you are really good at this. Like that much praise. You're receiving all this praise and you're not used to it.
Yeah.
Because while we were playing, we were like, we are doing this together. Now they're telling me, you are good. You are doing this. So I'm like, this is too much pressure.
Like, bro, just relax.
Hey, man.
Those times you remember there was this, to get to like a boss, you had to like pass some terrain, you have to like, it was some weird ninis. Then that time you're like funny heavy.
Yeah.
Like funny heavy.
That also happened in Def Jam. Remember when we were playing Def Jam?
That was a Def Jam. That was an amazing game. Def Jam, bro. I would literally buy Def Jam
and play it
again. That one, I would buy it. That one I would get it for sure.
Was legit. So like they put this much pressure on me. That's when like it was a moment of bringing me back to my consciousness. Because I was like, back in my mind, I was like, we as the boys, we do this together. But they're telling me it's you. I don't have that energy that we have while together.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
So I was like, this is too much pressure, and I was like, miss your pro. Like I backed out of it. Not like if we were together, I would have been like, give me. I want to try.
Yeah. So
like that moment, it brought up this spark in me that, some people can depend on you and you don't even know. You don't even understand that this depending on you can happen.
Yeah.
So it was a scary moment. At the same time, it was an eye-opening moment for me. But I backed out at that situation, of which I could have taken up
Yeah, you're like, now let me live it and say, actually, I am good. I'm a pro.
Let me beat this boss scorpion that you're facing, or let me beat this Shao Kahn. I'll show you how to do it. So I had that moment when I was a kid that I retracted, and it brought me down. But I'm sure if I had taken up responsibility and yes, this is me. Yes, I can do this. At that point, I could have actually been better. Maybe the course of my life could have changed in a different way.
Yeah.
But since I backed out, I was like, guy. Yeah, and while talking to you is when I actually realized that that point in time, that is what happened to me. That's how I retracted. That's how I reduced the energy.
I see what you mean. And that reminds me, right now I'm just realizing that we've gone through a very serious journey of getting to the stage of self-awareness that we actually are right now. Before it used to be you're just going through the motions, you're just going through it, honestly.
Then you don't know, you don't understand, you don't care.
You just put yourself in that and you say, this is what I'm required to do, and you do that thing. This is what I need to do, and you do it. But you really didn't, I would say for us, we because right now, if you look at the self-awareness that we have right now, if we had it that time, I'm pretty sure whatever goals that we really wanted, whatever small things that we really wanted to get that time that was important to us, would have done it. But right now, I've just realized because of moving forward from that time. I remember now analyzing my own childhood and being like, okay, so what can I say was holding me back? Because there's
nothing.
There's more to me than just this. I can see this. Yes, it's good, but then I'm like, there's more. There's something that was, then I realized, of course, these are lessons for the future. But then I realized a lot of things to do with consistency, discipline. Actually, knowing what I want to achieve was what was affecting all that.
So that's how I figured out that, man, we have come far.
Yeah,
come far. I don't know. So should we end the episode there and let this relationship bits about our primary school life come the next episode?
I think so. Actually, I think I don't know, man. Is normal a disease? Well, right now.
Is normal a disease? Do you think normal is a disease?
I have no clue, man. Normal is a disease or not?
Normal is a disease. What do you mean normal is a disease?
I don't know, man. What do you mean normal is a disease?
No, man.
I'm trying to understand.
We'll see you guys in the next episode answering that question. Maybe we won't answer it.
The answers lie deep within our conversations. So I think it's even more fun to talk about this and let you listen. It's a great thing that we're doing, and we will catch you in the next one.
And welcome to Is Normal a Disease?